Hi, I'm selling a vintage Necchi BU sewing machine. As you can see, this is the actual machine that you will be bidding on. I hope to do a sewing demonstration so that I can go over some of the features with you and demonstrate that everything is fully functional and that it still sews a very smooth and consistent balanced stitch. As you can see, this is my seller ID and this is the actual machine that you'll be bidding on. It comes with a hard plastic case, and bear with me, I can show you the rest of the case. Here's the top of the case, and the latches all work. First things first, let's talk about the condition of the machine. This is an original machine that was made in the late 1940s, early 1950s, and as such you can expect it to show some of its age. The majority of the wear is at the bed, where you can see that there are some age spots, and along the edge where there's a little bit of chipping of paint, as this used to be a cabinet mounted machine and the wood cabinets sometimes would grind up against the edge. That's the majority of the wear. Looking over the rest of the machine, there are maybe a few chips here and there, but very minor. The nickel plating is in fabulous condition. As you can see, it is quite shiny still. Same can be said with the hand wheel, with the nickel plating in very, very good condition. And when you examine the paint closely, you can see that the original Japan finish is still intact and there are no signs of crinkling or cracking on the head of the machine. Really, the majority of the wear is going to be, as you can see in this frame, there are just some age spots. As mentioned earlier, the Necchi BU was made in Italy, and it's an extremely high quality machine. As a matter of fact, it's one of the most smooth, consistent stitchers that I've personally owned, and it's extremely quiet. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate to you the motor by itself without stitching, just so you can hear it and hear how smooth and quiet it is. So here we go. That's one of the quietest machines I've ever owned. Now, I've also gone ahead and serviced this machine, checked it. I've checked all the parts to make sure they're working. Service includes rebuilding the tension discs, rechecking the timing. I've also gone back and lubricated all the gears and parts with modern synthetic lubricants from Triflow, the brand. Another thing worth mentioning is that I've tuned the metal foot pedal so that there's almost zero drag between the operator pushing on the pedal and starting the machine. Some machines, especially with the vintage metal pedals, you have to push down quite a large distance before the machine actually engages and starts. So as you can see, it takes very little pressure to start. There's almost zero drag, and the best part, because it's been tuned, you can have a lot of precision when it comes to how fast you want to stitch. So just a little bit more pressure and you'll go quicker. And if you really want to put the metal to the floor, you can. Of course, if you just want to back up, and you can slow it down just as easily. So you have a lot of control as to how fast you want to sew. I will be doing the sewing demonstration with 3 different types of fabrics. They will progress from lighter fabrics to heavier fabrics. So to start, we'll take some typical cotton. This is just off a t-shirt. After that, we'll move on to 500 denier Cordura, which is a very thick fabric, high abrasion resistant fabric that's often used in outdoor products such as backpacks and tactical equipment. And lastly, we'll go ahead and just sew through good old American denim. Alright, I've gone ahead and threaded the machine. It is ready to sew. I've also adjusted the tension for the fabrics. So we'll start with the cotton. Great thing about this particular machine is that it has an adjustable back stitch. A lot of sewing machines have only one setting for back stitching. It's just one set length. However, the Italians, they were quite creative, and they actually let you adjust how many stitches per inch, even on the backstroke. So when it comes to back tacking in very precise areas, that's a little feature that comes quite handy because you can do a lot of back stitching in very tight places. So I'll go ahead and do a couple back stitches first. Alright, and then we'll go forward. Turn it around. A couple more there. We'll go back, do a little bit of back tacking. Okay. Let's see the results. I use two different colored threads just for ease of visibility. Top thread is gray, the bottom thread is yellow. So, as you can see in the viewfinder, it's a very smooth, consistent, and balanced stitch. And we'll turn it back around so you can see the underside, and it is equally as balanced. There are no little loops, no bird's nests. And look how consistent each entire stitch is. There's no irregularities in length. So it's just perfect. Okay, moving on. 500 denier Cordura. Now this is quite an impressive machine. It's a very strong stitcher. It can go through many materials. And to demonstrate this, I'll fold the Cordura not only once, but twice, so that we're actually going through 4 layers of it. And I have no doubt this machine will handle it perfectly. Okay. Again, we'll do some back stitching. We'll go forward. And we'll go back again. Okay. And I expect the same results. It's a very balanced stitch. Underside. Also equally consistent, smooth, and balanced. 2 layers of denim. Forward. Lock that back. Okay. Here's the gray top stitch. Really get in there so you can see the underside. So again, very consistent, very balanced, very regulated length, all done on an extremely quiet and smooth machine with precision control, really. Again, that was 2 layers of typical denim. Next, I want to demonstrate some of the other key features of the Necchi BU. The Necchi BU, as I mentioned earlier, has an adjustable back stitch. This toggle right here determines whether or not you want to sew forward or backwards. And as you can see, there's these little indicators that slide up and down. When you pull it all the way to the bottom, you'll be going in reverse. Now, depending on how far down you went, you can actually determine how many stitches per length. I'm not sure if you can see, but it says 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So you can adjust the length of that stitch both backwards And if you want to go forward, it's the same thing. That 4, 3, 2, 1. It's quite ingenious. Next, the Necchi BU also has an adjustable needle position, meaning the needle can be in straight center, to the left of center, or to the right of center. And this is quite a convenient feature when you're trying to sew up against very tight margins, or when you're sewing a zipper, etc. And to determine the needle position, you simply move this toggle. This is left of center, center, right of center. In practice, you can move the needle left, center, or right, all using that toggle I indicated earlier. And it's a very smooth toggle. And lastly, the Necchi BU also has a zigzag function, and that zigzag is both adjustable in width and also length, and that's all done via this toggle right here. You adjust, 0 setting is a straight stitch, and as you move further to the right, you get to pick zigzags, and the higher the number, the wider the zigzag. It goes all the way to 5. You can actually lock the length of your zigzag using this little sliding panel right here. So for instance, let's say 2 is the minimum width zigzag I want. That panel will stop me from accidentally pushing it further beyond that. Length of the zigzag is adjusted using the stitch adjustment, the stitch length adjustment lever, just like you would on a straight stitch. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate you some of the zigzag features. So I've gone ahead and set it to a very wide zigzag just to start. And afterwards I'll show you just a very narrow zigzag so that you can see the satin stitch, otherwise known as bar tacking. This machine is quite capable of producing bar tacks, so it's really good for reinforcing those high stress points when you're sewing. Here are the zigzags we just produced. These are the wide zigzags. I'll zoom out a bit. I'll go ahead and produce a very tight, narrow zigzag to demonstrate to you some of the bar tacking functions. You can see it's beautiful, beautiful, narrow with zigzag. It's perfect for bar tacking, and it's truly a wonderful machine. So thanks again for taking the time to look at this. If you have any questions, always feel free to send me a message, before bidding. I'll be happy to answer to the best of my knowledge. And happy bidding. Thanks.